Good morning, students. In previous class, we discussed about what are the different types of inheritance, right? Uh, C++ supports 5 types of inheritance: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Right? Here, in previous session, we discussed about what you mean by single inheritance. In single inheritance, we are having only one base class and one derived class. Right? In single inheritance, we are having only one base class and one derived class. Derived class is going to inherit all the properties of its base class. Derived class is going to inherit all the properties of its base class. Right? In this session, I am going to discuss about multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, we are having one base class which is in turn a derived class of another base class. A derived class with one base class which is in turn a derived class of another base class. This is known as multi-level inheritance. See here, I will explain with an example. See here, in this example, A is the base class, right? In this example, A is the base class. Is the base class. Now for this A, B is the derived class. B is the derived class. B is the derived class. Now here this B is going to inherit all the properties of A. B is going to inherit all the properties of its A. That is the A is the superclass. Now this is the single inheritance, right? Up to here we are having only one base class, one derived class. So this is single inheritance. Now we are going to inherit one more class. We are going to derive one more class. See here in this example, I am going to derive one more class. Derived class 2. Derived class 2. Right? For this derived class 2, which one is the base class? B is the base class. B is the base class. B is the base class. For the derived class 2, B is the base class. See here, but this B is derived class for A. B is derived class for A. Right? For this B, superclass or base class is A. For the class C, this is the base class. B is the base class. For this one, for this B, class A is the base class. For this B, class is the base class. Now, class B is going to inherit all the properties of class A. Now, class B is going to inherit all the properties of class A. Why? Because class B is the derived class for class A. Now, class C is going to inherit all the properties of class B. Class C is going to inherit all the properties of class B. It means that indirectly class C is going to inherit all the properties of class A. Class C is going to inherit all the properties of class A. See here, for example, see here, I am going to write here class A. Now this class A is having public. I am going to use one notepad file. See here, class A is there, right? This class A is having public int A and void add. Public int A, void add. Now the definition of class A, the declaration of class A is completed, right? Now here in multi-level inheritance, this is A, now B, now C, right? For this class B, A is the base class, right? A is the base class, right? For this class C, B is the base class, right? Now Class A, in class A, I am declaring one data member, that is A. I am declaring one member function, that is B. Add. Now I am going to define one class B. I am inheriting this class B from class A in public mode. Public A. Public A. Now opening the braces, here in public I am declaring one variable, that is B. Here I am going to write one member function, that is display. That is display. Right. This is the declaration part of class B is completed. Declaration part of class B is completed. Right. Declaration part of class B is completed. In class A, I am declaring one member function, that is A. I am declaring one member function, that is add. Right. Now in class B, I am declaring one member function, that is B, and one method, that is display. Right. That is display. Now here I am deriving one class, one more class. See here, I am declaring one more class, that is class C public B. For this class C, which one is the base class? B is the base class. That's the reason here I am putting this B. That's the reason I am writing this B. Right. Here I am going to define public. In public mode, I am declaring one variable C. Here void, for example, here I am going to write sub function, right. See here, class A is there. Class A is the base class. Now class B is going to derive from class A. Class B is going to derive from class A. So that's the class B colon public A. In public mode, I am going to derive this class B from class A. Now see here. Now this class B. Now this class B is consisting of, what are the variables here? See, int A, void add. Is it right? Why? Because class B is inheriting from class A. Class B is inheriting from class A. That's the reason. See here, B variable is already present in class B. Void display is already present. Void display method is already present in class B. Now, class B is going to inherit from class A. What are the data members, member functions which are present in class A is going to present in class B. Right? So, here, what are the data members present in class A? A. What are the member functions which are present in class A? Add. So int A, void add. These two are present in class B. Now class B is consisting of, what are the data members? Int A and int B. These two are the data members which is present in class B. Now what are the member functions which are present in class B? Void add and void display. These are the member functions which are present in class B. Right? For example, if I am going to create the object, I will explain C, then I am going to create the object. Now class C. Class C is going to inherit from class B. Class C is going to inherit from class B. Now what are the data members and member functions which are present in class B is going to inherit by class C. Right? See here. Now what are the member functions which are present in class C now? What are the member functions which are present in class B is going to inherit by class C, right? What are the member functions here? Data members. See here, int B and void display. Void display method is present. And see here, in class A, data members and member functions also present in class B. So now class C is going to inherit all these things in this class. Now class C is going to inherit all those things in this class. See here. Now void add. Next is int A. void add, int a. All these things are going to be present in class C. Now class C is consisting of int C data member, void sub method and int B data member, void display method. Why? Because it is inherits from class B. Now void add and int a, these are the data members of class A, but these data members are going to inherit from these data members are inherited by class B. Now class C is going to derive from class B. That's the reason all the data members, member functions which are present in class B is going to inherited by class C. Right? Now class C is consisting of all these data members and member functions. Now for example, if I am going to create the object, for this one, see here, for example, I am going to create the object 1 by using class A. If I am going to create one object, right? Here, by using this object, I can call what are the data members. By using this object, I can call here obj1.a, obj1.display, add. Is it right? Why? Because these two, A and add, these two are present in class A. A and add, these two are present in the class A. That's the reason whenever I am going to create any object, by using that particular object, I am going to access the variables. I am going to access the data members and member functions of that particular class. Right? Up to here clear? Now I am going to create the object for class B. Right? Here, how we are going to create the object for class B? B obj2. By using the object of class B, I can access the data members and member functions of class B. By using the object of class B, I can access the data members and member functions of class B. See here, by using this object of obj2, I can access B. By using this obj2, I can access display, right? And one more thing, by using this obj2, I can access the data member A also. Why? Because A is going to inherit by class B. By using this obj2, I can access the add function, add method. Why? Because A and add are going to inherit in class B. Class B is the subclass of class A. Right? Now, see here. Now, I am going to create the object for class C. I am going to create the object for class C. See here. I am going to create the object. One object here. obj3 of class C. Right? By using this obj3, what can I access? obj3 dot C is there now. Right? I can access C. And by using this obj3 dot, I can access sub. Right? By using obj3, I can access sub. Right? Sub function also I can access. And here, what are the data members and member function which are present in class B is going to inherit by class C. That's the reason by using the object of class C, we can access those data members also. So by using this obj3 dot we can access B. By obj3 display, right? And by using this obj3 we can access A. By using this obj3 we can access add. Right? Why? Because all these are the data members and member functions of its base class. Here obj3 is the object of C. obj3 is the object of class C. By using the object of class C, we can access all the data members and member functions which are present in that particular class. By using the object of class C, we can access the data members and member functions which are present in the class C. Now class C is going to inherit by class B. Class C is inherited by class B. Now, what are the data members which are present in class B is going to access by class C. Now, what are the data members which are present in class B? Int B and void display is there, and this class B is going to inherit from class A. Now, class B is going to inherit all the properties of class A. Class A is having int A and void, and these two are there. Now, class B is going to access int B, void display, A and add, right? Indirectly, class C is having the data members and member functions of this class A. Indirectly, class C is having the data members and member functions of class A, right? But here, why? Because for the class C, base class is B. For the class B, base class is A, right? And one more thing, by using this object 1, we can't access, by using this object 1, we can't see, I'll write here, by using this object 1, we can't access the data member C. Why? Because data member C is present in class C. And one more thing, by using this object 1, we can't access subfunction. Why? Because C is the subclass of B. Right? And one more thing, by using this here, what is the object for class B? OBJ2, right? OBJ2, right? By using this object, I can't access the variable C. By using the object 2, we can't access the object C. In the same way, by using this OBJ2, I can't access this subfunction. Why? Because C and subfunction both are present in class C. Class C is derived from class B. Class C is going to inherit all the properties of class B, but it is not going to inherit, class B object is not going to access the data members and member functions which are present in its subclass or in its child class. Right? Up to here clear? Now, I'll explain with an example program. See, just we have to open the dev C++. In dev C++, here I'm going to write this program. I'm going to define one class A. In class A, I'm going to define here public int A, and protected here in this here in this example, just I explain all the public data members in program. While I am going to execute the program, I am going to use the protected data members also int B, right? With this, class definition is completed. Here I am declaring two functions, int A and int B. Now here in public mode I am declaring A, in protected mode I am declaring B. Now I am going to declare one more class B. It is going to be inherited in public mode, public A. Now I am going to declare public int x, right? Public int x and public, we have to put the colon now, public int x and protected int y, delete Just and yeah, class declaration is completed, so we have to put the semicolon, right? We have to put the semicolon. And now class B is there. Class B is going to inherit from class A. Class B is going to be inherit from class A. Now I am going to define one more class, class C, which is going to derive from class, sorry, don't use this capital letter, class B. Class B, open the braces, right here in public mode. In public mode, here I am going to use int was. In public mode, I am going to use int p. In p, I am going to use two functions: void set b value, set b value, int comma int, right. Next, void display, void display. I'm not going to forward any statements here, that's the reason I'm going to put void here. Next, here class definition is completed, put this semicolon. Now I'm going to write this one, void, I'm going to write the definitions, void C, class C, sorry, void class C. Here what are the data members? Here set by value is there, now set by value. Here int temp1 comma int temp2, int temp1 comma int temp2, right. Open the braces, open the braces. Here in this case b equals to temp1, b equals to temp1. Next is y equals to temp2, y equals to temp2. I am going to declaring these two, y equals to temp2, right. Now closing the braces. Here we have to pass two parameters. I am passing two parameters, temp1 comma temp2, and I am setting the b value and y value. Here see, here b value is present in protected access specifier, b is there. Here now y is also present in class B in protected mode. Directly we can't assign the values for the protected access specifier variables. That's the reason I am going to use the public data member of its derived class. Here set by value, I am defining one data member function, that is set by value. By using this set by value, I am going to access this temp1 and temp2. By using that temp1 temp2, I am going to assigning the values, right. Here one more thing, void display function is there. We have to write the code for void display. Void return type is void. Here was C, class name is C. Now display function is present, display, right. That is void, and open the braces, right. In void display, cout. Next, here you are going to display the values, a comma b comma x comma y. Values are, right, a comma b comma x values are, right. Now a next, I am going to give some space. Next I am going to give I am going to save the b value. Next I am going to give some space, sorry. Next I am going to save x, I am give some space. Next y, next and L. Okay, y values are in L. See here, just I am going to say the values a b x y, a b x y, right? In display function I am going to displaying all the values. Now I am going to create the object for this class C int main. In main function we have to create the object, right? We have to create the object, open the braces. In this one here, for the class C, I am going to create the object objc. By using this object C, objc dot a equals to 10, right? objc dot c here. In this case here, a is the public data variable now, that's the reason directly I am assigning the value. In the class B, x is there, so obj dot x equals to 30, right? Now objc dot set values are there now, right? Set values here I am going to write 20 comma 40. Now what are the values of a b? A value is 10, b value is 20, x value is 30, and y value is 40, right? Here up to here completed. Now we have to display these things now by using this objc dot display, right? And next is return 0. Now I am going to save this program. Right? Now execute this one, compile this one. See here, any errors are there? So many errors are there. Class C colon class B. See here, we have to write here public. Now in public mode we have to perform the inheritance, right? Public, instead of public I have write this one public. Save this one. Now execute this one, run. Is there any errors are there? See here, no errors. Errors are 0, warnings are 0. Now we will check the output. Run. What is my output? 10, 20, 30, 40, right? A, B, X, Y values are 10, 20, 30, 40. Is it clear? Right? Here already explained that here class A is there. In class A I am declaring one public member, that is A, and one is protected member, that is B. One public member A, one protected member B, right? Now class B is there. Class B is going to inherit this one. Class B is there. Class B is going to inherit from class A, the public mode. While we are going to performing inheritance in public mode, we can access the public data members of its base class, but to access the protected data members of its base class, we have to use the public member function of its derived class. That's the reason here we are giving these two void set value. Here, why here int b is there in class B, int b is there in class B, y is there. In class A, B is the protected member. In class B, Y is the protected data member. So to access B and Y, we have to use the public member function of its derived class. See here, this class C is going to derive from class B. Class C is going to derive from the class B. Here in public mode, I am declaring these three data members and member function. Here first one is the int p. Int p is the one data member. Void set by value. Void display is there. Here these three are, first one is the data member, second one is the member function. These two member functions. By using the set by value member function, I am going to assigning the values for b, which is the protected member of class A. Now I am going to assign the value for y, which is the protected member of class B. Right, which is the protected member of class B. So here I am, see here, temp1, temp2, I am passing two parameters, right? Here I am passing two values. If I want to try to access, for example, now I am going to try to access this B, obj.c. here, for example, b is there. Now I am going to assign, what is the b value here? 20. I will get one error, right? Why? Because directly we can't access the value of b. See here, save the program. Now I am going to execute. I am going to try to execute this one. What will happen? See this here, B is a protected data. See here, error, int a, B is the protected data member of A. That's the reason you can't access the B by using the object of its derived class. Right here, right? We can't access this one. For example, if I want to try to access this Y, right? What is the Y value? 40. Y value is 40. Now see here, I'll save the program and I'll try to execute this one. Again you are going to get the error. Same thing. Int y is a protected data member. Y is a protected data member. So we can't access the protected data member of its base class by using the object. To access the protected data member of its base class, we have to use the public member functions. We have to use the public member functions. By using the public member function, we can access the protected data members of its base class if that particular inheritance is performed in the public access specifier mode. See here, now I am executing. I am not going to get any error here. Let's see here, errors are 0, warnings are 0. Now my values are 10, 20, 30, 40. My values are 10, 20, 30, 40. Right, 10, 20, 30, 40. In next session, I am going to explain multiple inheritance. Right. Thank you.